Hey everyone, thank you for stopping by and welcome to my channel. And if this is your very first time on my video, then I make videos on the topic of burnout and associated topics, especially for the people who are over the age of 40, because that is the age group which I represent. Although the videos are equally applicable to slightly younger age groups and slightly older age groups also. So if you are someone who is interested in these topics, I would request you to subscribe to my channel and also watch this video till the end. And the second condition for this video is going to be if you are also from country like India like myself, or any other neighboring country like Pakistan or Bangladesh or Nepal, and you are now living abroad in a country like Australia, New Zealand, UK, USA, or Canada, especially in the colder regions or in the colder cities. Because why I mention colder, because that has relevance to the topic of today's video. So, um, taking some reference from the Vedic astrology, for those of you who know even a bit of that, you would know that that Saturn represents the cold, isolated places and places which represent like harsh conditions. Although I live in Melbourne, Australia, the city is like beautiful and it has almost everything which a person desires to live. But still, in winters, the temperature drops significantly. Although it doesn't snow here, at least not in the city or not in the like the greater metropolitan region, and it may not be cold as comparable to say countries like Canada or say some parts of New Zealand or say the UK or some cities in the USA. But the point I'm trying to put across is for people like us, who are from India or the Indian subcontinent and who are now living in colder cities. There is one common feature which you may have seen or observed or lived, which is like how your lifestyle changes, how very gradually you have to adapt or you get adapted to like the Saturnian lifestyle. And when I say Saturnian lifestyle, that you get into like a very rigid structure, like your week is quite Saturnian in nature. So just to simplify, what I mean is you if you work say 5 days a week, and you work like a normal corporate job, so you would get up in the morning, get ready, leave for work, whether it's in your car or you take the train or any other public transport, and you reach your workplace and you finish work, and by the time you log out it's already dark, and when you come back it's quite late in the evening, and you just have like a few hours to spend with your family, and then you like retire to bed and repeat the same cycle until say Friday. This is like the most common scenario, although each person is different, and you may be working in a totally different industry. Maybe you are in the trucking industry, or you are in some other hard labor job, or you maybe you're like an independent contractor. But most of you would still be you have some relation to the work which is like quite Saturnian in nature, like hard physical labor. For those of you who are working in a corporate job, even if you're not doing any heavy lifting when you reach office, but the structure, if you do not have too much flexibility in your work, and like you have to reach bang on at say 9 a.m. and log out at say 5 p.m. or 5:30 p.m., and then you understand what I mean, that you are bound by a structure, so you do not have any flexibility or leeway in between. And so most of you, what would you be doing, like working for 5 days and then just waiting for the weekends? And in the weekends you will definitely have some sort of like a house some pending household chores which you have to finish so that your household keeps running and keeps moving. And you may have just one day left for yourself, and I think by that time you are mostly very tired. Or if you have any social obligation like going, say, to a party or a function or a get together, so and until you get back to work on Monday and repeat the same cycle. So you understand the point I'm trying to make is like, life can very quickly become extremely monotonous and very, very tiring. I would say very exhausting, without leaving any room for, any reason for happiness. Although I'm not saying that, or not trying to suggest that this work will make you depressed, but it will at least make you feel quite boring. So here I just want to take some reference from Vedic astrology. So normally, those of you who know that any solution for Saturn, if like the Vedic astrologists, they tell you to do some sort of a remedy, say for Mars. And when I say Mars, Mars represents like vigor or physical activity, so something like that. So for those of you who are not doing any sort of a physical activity, even if it's for like 10-15 minutes every day, you are bound to feel the problem of Saturn even more than other people. Which is why uh, involving or using Mars or the Martian energy is very important to sustain a lifestyle in Western countries or Western cities, especially for people who have moved or immigrated from countries like India or the neighboring countries. And the second point which I want to make is you must include or you must have some sort of a habit or an activity which is related to the planet Venus or the planet Jupiter. Now, why I'm saying that is because Venus usually represents anything which is of like pleasure and very high quality and very high premium, or fancy things. So I can totally understand that most of you may not have the access or the opportunity to indulge in high end pleasures most of the time. And when I say high end pleasures, like you do not have the flexibility to be by the beach side in a sunny location every fortnight or after every few weeks. So then you have to use the basic Venetian or the basic Venus features, which are like just enjoyment, which can be derived from, say, by very basic habits like singing, or say if you like dancing, or even basic laughter, watching some very light-hearted comedy sort of stuff. Although I'm not saying suggesting to watch the Instagram reels one after the other. I'm just trying to suggest, just to ease off some burden or pressure on your mind from the entire hectic week. You must use that. So you would be doing it, but if you're not doing it in a structured manner, I'm just um, trying to suggest that if you include that in a structured way, that's going to help you to sustain this kind of a lifestyle. The other or the last planet which I want to suggest is Jupiter, because I totally understand that not everybody likes Venetian qualities. You may be someone who is interested in higher learnings, or usually any sort of a learning. So for someone like you can definitely pick up some good quality books. Whichever religion you come from, you can pick up or start reading your religious scriptures or religious books also, or even for that matter some other light-hearted books. Or you may have some skill to teach to others, so you can use that thing as to use your Jupiterian energy. Again, the reason is quite simple, that you have to uh, give some respite to yourself, to your mind, your body, and your soul, so that you are able to withstand or sustain the lifestyle which you have to follow, to keep your life moving, which comes out of Saturn, because Saturn usually has no relation with any sort of a enjoyment. It's like a very cold and a very blunt planet, I would say. It doesn't care about your emotions. It's like it's termed as the planet of justice. So it's like, the judge who looks after your report card or your report, and then based on that, and he or she um, uh, you know gives the ruling. So to withstand Saturn, you must include Mars at least on a daily basis, or at least every other day, so that your body stays fine. And for for your mental happiness, you must include some sort of a Venus qualities, even the basic ones which I mentioned. And if not, then at least the Jupiterian qualities of reading books, or even yoga or meditation also, for that matter. So by with that, you would be able to sustain yourself in the cold and the harsh conditions of these countries. And hopefully you make like some good assets for your family and for the future generations. So with that message, I wish to end this video. If you liked it, please leave a comment or press the like button, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you. Bye bye.